Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we are going to see how we can stop accidental navigation in React and protect unsaved changes with the help of useBlocker. So before starting video, first we will understand what exactly is this useBlocker in a theoretical way, and then we will try to implement it inside our Visual Studio Code for a simple React application. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, what is useBlocker? It is like a traffic barrier on a web page. So what does traffic barrier does is it helps to avoid a car or anything crossing from one road to another. It acts as a barrier. Same thing, it stops the user from leaving a web page when something important is happening. And what it helps is that it helps to avoid accidental navigation that could lead to a data loss. Understanding a real life example is that imagine you are writing a long email in Gmail app and you accidentally click on the back button. Then what email does is that it pops up a message and says, are you sure you want to leave without sending your email? And that exactly where the use blocker does. It first asks for a confirmation before leaving, that have you done it intentionally or it is an accidental click. That's the real life example or the real life scenarios where the use blocker comes into picture. Why it is needed? So as we know that humans make mistakes and user might click links accidentally or forget to save a form or hit browser back button unintentionally or accidentally clicks reload button. Anything can be done. So the use blocker acts like a safety net, asking, wait, do you really want to leave this page or it is just an accidental click? So this is a screenshot where you can see that it pops up a message that are you sure you want to delete this to do app, and if we try to delete it, then we had confirmed it and we are good to proceed. But if we cancel, then it understands that we had accidentally clicked that delete button and we don't need to delete that to-do list. So this is all about this use blocker thing. Now where to use it? The ideal places to use are like long forms with multiple inputs. By mistake, if you entered a large amount of data and accidentally click on cancel button, then the pop-up will be shown and said, and it will say that are you sure want to stop writing or are you sure want to cancel this. Okay, the next one is the payments or checkout pages where you enter the bank details. Then application with drafts or unsaved changes, as we had seen the example of email application, or survey or exam pages. Okay, in exam pages, if suppose you have wrote 30 lines of answers and accidentally you click on the back button, then all the progress will be lost. So in this scenario, the use blocker comes into picture where it will show a warning that are you sure you want to go back. Then if we click on cancel, then all our progress will be restored back. So basically it is used anywhere where the user might lose progress. So what will be the user experience flow? First, user types something on a form, then tries to navigate away by clicking on back button or anything. Then the message will pop up which will say you have unsaved changes, are you sure? If user chooses yes, then we will proceed and the navigation will be continued, and if we click on no, then user will be stayed on the page. So this gives you control and protect their input. So this was the theoretical explanation about use blocker. Now we will try to implement it inside our React application. So let's get started. Now we will try to implement it inside our React application. As you can see, this is a simple React application where I had deleted some unwanted files such as report, web vitals and all that stuff. Okay, now to begin with, as use blocker is coming from React router DOM package, first we need to install it. For that, the command is npm I or npm install React router DOM. Once that is done, we will try to run our application, and you can see the package has been downloaded. Now let's start the application by using npm start. Here you can see the application has been started, and for now we can see the blank page because we had not included anything inside our app. Okay, now what we will do, we will create a simple home page. We'll name it as home.js, and this will be the content of home page. Let's name it as simple home page. Okay, once that is done, we need to assign a route for this home page. What is route? It means that once we are at this location, then which component should be displayed here. That can be achieved with the help of React Router DOM. Okay, so for that, inside our Visual Studio Code, as we had downloaded the React Router DOM package, first we will try to create the browser routers. Okay, normally what we can do, we can create a browser router and we can create routes inside it, but to use useBlocker, first we need to define a router and then we need to use it inside our application using that router provider. So let's see how we can achieve this. This is an app.js file, and inside app.js file, first we will create a router. So let's name it as router, and then it will be create browser router, and inside that we will define the create routes from element, this one, and then we can define a route here. So the route will have a path, point it to the current one, which is the normal base path, and the component will be the home one. In this way we had defined a router. Now we need to wrap our whole application inside that router provider. So for that we will first use the router provider, and inside router provider we need to pass the router as router 1. Okay, now if we go to our application, here we can see the home page has been displayed. Okay, so that's about the browser router. Now what we will do, inside a home page we will create a navigation. It means that the home page will remain as it is, but the components that are displayed here will be different. So first we will create an about page, and then we will create an form page, and that two components will be the child of this home page. Okay, so for that I will create a folder name as components, and inside that I will define an about.js. It will have an lorem 30, let's say. Next one will be the form.js. Okay, this is a form page. Now inside app.js, where we had defined this route, we are going to define the child routes. So for that we need to wrap these two routes inside it. So first the path will be the main one, and it will be the index element, I mean the default one, and it will have an about page. The same thing we need to do for the form too. Let's say it have an form, and here the form component. Oh, it by mistakenly imported from React Router. It's from component form. Okay, now if we go to our home page, it means home.js, this div will remain as it is. We will wrap it inside a fragment, and below this heading we need to define we need to show the components. So for that we are going to use outlet, It is provided by React Router DOM. It automatically renders the child elements that are present for our defined route. So for this home component, there are two child routes defined, so it will automatically rendered here. Okay, now if we go to our application, as you can see, we had defined the about page as the index element, and if we go to slash form, then the form component will be displayed. Now we need to create a blocker here such that so first of all, what we will do inside home page, we will create two navigations. Let's say navlink, which is also provided by React Router. So it will have a path as about, and there will be another path of let's say form, and it will have two prop. So about, as you know, it is defined at base route, and the form, which is defined at slash form. Okay, form. If we go to our site again, you can see the two links has been created. If we go to about, then the URL will be changed and will be navigated to about page. If we click on form, then the form component will be displayed here. Now inside the form.js, we will try to create a simple use blocker. So first of all, we will create a form, a demo form. Let's say it have a method, or else we need to import this form from leave it. Then we need to create a label, and let's say enter some important data, and then there will be one input field which will have a type text. Okay, after that, what we need to do, it will have a name of let's say data. Then for setting up value, we will create a use state variable, value and set value is equal to use state, and the default will be the empty value. And for this one, we will set value as value, and for the on change, let's try to assign it that set value. I hope you understand what is use state. target.value. Okay, so this one is done. Now if we go to our application, if we go to home form page, what happened? I think something broke. Okay, import form from React Router DOM, and I will name it as form component. Maybe that's due to the name, as we had used the same name. Okay, form component. Now if we go to our application, if we click on localhost 3000. Okay, so this is the about page, and if you go to the form, then you can see a label has been there and one input field is there. Now if we try to enter some data here, and by mistakenly if we click on this about, then the component is changed and all the data that we had written previously has been lost. So how we can tackle that? So for that, we create useBlocker. Now for the useBlocker, what we will do, we will create a blocker first using that useBlocker method. This is the useBlocker one, and useBlocker usually accepts the current location and the next location. Okay, now inside that method we need to define a condition that when we need to apply this blocker. Okay, so first thing will be if value is not equal to empty, because we had entered some data, that's why it's not empty. And the next condition will be the current location dot path name is not equal to next location dot path name. Okay, so why this condition is that we are going to navigate, so the current location will be the /form1 and the next location will be the home page when we click on that nav link. So at that time the blocker will be hit and we will not be able to navigate to the next page. Okay, now the blocker has been defined, but how to use it, like how we can handle it inside our UI. So for that, inside that form we can write a JavaScript code here, and let's say blocker. Now when the blocker is blocked, the blocker has one property called a state. So the state will be in a blocked state, and at that time when the blocker is blocked, we can render a simple div and that div, or else we are going to return nothing. Okay, now that div will give us a warning that are you sure you want to live, and after that we will define two buttons. Button 1 is proceed and next button will be the cancel button. Okay, now let's try to debug inside our website how it looks usually. So if I open the inspect tab and sources, so there will be the file which is form.js, and inside that if we try to hit here breakpoint, let's say we had changed value. Okay, the value has been changed. Okay, then when we again hit D, if we go to the next one, the blocker state is currently unblocked because we have not moved to any location, other location, that's why it will not get executed. Now we had entered some value here, and I will try to hit breakpoint here too. If I try to go to some another page, let's say about one, and at that time the blocker will be executed. So what blocker does is that, as you can see, the blocker has been executed and the state has been blocked here. It means that the blocker says that you are in a blocked position and you can't proceed until this proceed call is executed. Okay, now what exactly is proceed? So here, if the blocker is in a blocked state, then it will have a current path name, and the next path name will be the where we are going to proceed, and it will have two functions, that is proceed and reset one. So proceed helps to navigate to the next route if confirmed. Okay, so for that, inside our this code we will create an on click, and this on click will help us to proceed to the next route. Blocker dot proceed. If we hit on cancel button, then the blocker will be reset. It means that the user had by mistakenly clicked the about button and we don't need to navigate to the next location. So this is all about this blocker. If we hit any value and by mistakenly if we click on the about, then the blocker is blocked, but oh, the spelling mistake, blocked. Now let's say if currently I'm at about page, and if I go to form, then if I hit any value and if I try to navigate to about page, then this blocker call will be executed, value will be not equal to null as we had set, and value here also the current location path name and next location path name will be different. That's why this dialog will be shown, and if I click on proceed, then only we will be navigated to about page. And if we don't click on proceed, if we click on cancel, then the blocker will be reset and we will stay on this page only. Okay, so that's all about the blocker. If we go to the form, if the value is empty, we can safely navigate to the about page, but if we hit any value here, then it will throw us a warning that are you sure you want to leave this page. If you click on proceed, we will be navigated. So this was all about how we have executed the blocker. And for this one, I will attach a blog link below in the comments. If you have any doubt, you can ask in the comments or you can read it inside the blog. I will provide this same code there too. Okay, so in next video we will see another such topic. So for now, bye bye.